I got into the sport of bobsledding in part because I could. When I looked at the sport, when I watched the sport every 4 years, when the Winter Olympics came on TV, it seemed to require just 3 basic skills. 1, I needed to be able to count to 3. I can do that. I needed to be able to run like hell, properly motivated. I can do that. And 3, I had to jump in and duck. Folks, this is a weird college drinking game. I can do this. I'm standing up there on top of this mountain in Winterberg, Germany. I'm dressed like Darth Vader in tights. I got this big old helmet on. I'm cold. My heart's racing. I'm nauseous with anticipation. That start that you saw with the bobsled, that's almost a relief to finally be underway, to be moving. Yes! And it comes soon enough. We start getting the sled into a little bit of a rhythm. And then the count begins. 1, 2. And on the count of 3, we all explode into the sled all at once. For the first 10 meters, it's all about grunting and muscling this sled down the track. And after 10 meters, the track, it falls off steep. So the speed here starts to pick up crazy fast. You're running, you feel like you're going to run right out of your shoes. And looming down that track, you know, there's a point down that track. I'm not going to be able to keep up with that sled. It's going to be going too darn fast. I got to be in. Some of you may be thinking, well, easy enough. Jump in before the point, right? Duh. Yeah, that'll work. But it's not so easy because the mental game that you play with yourself is if you jump in too early, if you lose your nerve, you lose face with your teammates. You'll never hear the end of it. And if you jump in too late, try to. You might not make it in the sled at all. And if you do that, you may lose your face to your teammates. They're not going to be happy campers. Now, I'm running as fast as I can go. I can't go any faster. I'm reaching the point where I'm going to exceed my maximum. I make the decision. I got to jump in. I cross my one leg over my right. I land my foot on a ledge. It's about this big. It's about that wide. And I throw myself in behind the driver, trying not to impale him with the spikes that are on the bottom of my shoe. I hunker my head down, and for the next 50 seconds, it's a mind-numbing ride. And my life prior to getting into bobsledding was anything but euphoric, and it was hardly unique. Didn't feel all that special. I want to describe for you my resume going into my 29th year when I came up with the brilliant idea to try out for the U.S. national bobsled team. In high school, I played one sport, and I rode the bench. My senior year of high school comes along. I'm diagnosed with Crohn's disease. There's pills to take, there's talk of surgery. My senior year, pretty much kaput, gone. I'm in college, I'm in a pickup game with some friends, just horsing around. I blow out a knee. There's major surgery, there's rehab. My knee's never quite the same. I graduate college. My friends, my peers, they're going on and they're getting jobs. They're getting married. They're going to graduate school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was lost. I bartended is what I did. I finally thought I found my way out. I get accepted into the United States Marine Corps Officer Candidate School, pilot candidate, a lifelong dream of mine. Yes, I've arrived. And I'm discharged because of problems with my knees. I come back out. I take a job in sales. They didn't say anything about selling anything, and they fired me. I get a job offer from a Boston advertising agency. Finally, something that relates to what I took in school. What a concept. And I'm laid off. I get hired back by the same agency in a different market, doing a different job. And I hate it. I quit. Throw in a 1-year marriage and living with my dad and his second wife in a Florida retirement community located in a trailer park. And does any of this sound Olympic to you? I had this giant tug of war going on. On the one hand was this person that I was at my core, that I knew I wanted to be. And on the other hand was this person that I thought everybody expected me to be. Never was all of me on the same page. Never fully committed. Trying to keep everybody happy. That didn't work out too well. I thought to myself, all right, what am I going to do? Well, first thing I got to do is I got to decide which side of this tug of war I want to be on. And I decided that morning. And it was that morning. This isn't exaggeration. This isn't just because it sounds good. This is the way it was. I made the decision that morning. I am going to be me. For right or wrong, good or bad, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be me. The brand is me. And when I looked for that single thread that was holding all their criticisms together, it seemed to be this idea that why take the first step, Jim, in a long journey like this if you're more than likely not going to be able to take the last one? And I think that's a trap a lot of us fall into. We don't think about the first step in a long journey. We don't think about the first few steps. No. We think about all of them. Or worse yet, we think about the last one. And we look at where we are and where we want to be, and we go, oi, it's not going to happen. It paralyzes us, right? It's like sitting down to write a book, and instead of writing chapter 1, trying to write all the chapters and do it all at once. It ain't going to happen. Folks, we're not in charge of the summits. We're in charge of the climb. We're in charge of putting one foot in front of the other. We're in charge of putting ourselves and preparing ourselves for the climb. Period. End of story. It lightened the burden for me, and it got me focused on the right thing. And while I may have proved that not everybody can go to the Olympics, anybody can have an Olympic-like moment, but folks, it starts with that first step.